my name is Faith, but you may call me Unme. If you watch the first video of this series, you'll know that I'm a weirdo who likes making creepy monsters look smexy. So let's get right to it. As you may or may not know, I made a poll on my channel a little while back to see which urban legend you guys wanted to see turned hot. And one of the choices that won was the Windigo. Also, don't mind the bottom left of the screen, I was watching videos at the time, please ignore that. Okay, getting into the sketch. I started with a nice big round brush. I do this sometimes when I want to have a very loose and free sketching experience, and it's a bit easier this way to block out the shapes when I'm struggling a bit. Okay, enough of the stupid brush I'm using. I wanted the Windigo to be grabbing somebody's arm, and of course stretching his neck out in a very sultry way. We also gotta make him stick his tongue out so he can have a little taste test, you know? I mean, he's not gonna buy the product until he tastes it, right? I'm not struggling drawing this mouth, what are you talking about? Let's make his eyes craze, because I know y'all like some tsundere. Struggle with these hands, I chose to put 3 hands in a single piece, what is wrong with me? Let's finally do the hair. I decided to give him a little headband and a cute earring. Get that syrup brush ready and let's go. I like to make the lines nice and chonky for the eyes and little dots for the iris. Most of y'all subscribed to this channel should know by now that I am a simp for fangs, so I will take any and all excuses to put them on my characters. Also, because his head is tilting back, you can see the back of his teeth there. Look at these luscious lashes. If anybody told you that men should not wear mascara, they're dead wrong. So I added a little scar to his face. I actually added a couple scars to his body as well. Drawing more hands. It's time for the hair, the yummiest part of the whole drawing. Remember to balance out the thick to thin ratio of the lines. Because he's a Windigo, we have to put antlers on him, of course. Did I even explain what a Windigo is? Oh, no, I didn't. So basically, the origin story of a Windigo is that it was a person at one point that ate human flesh in order to survive a harsh winter. And then, of course, turned into a monster. Because reasons. Okay, back to the hair. I want it to look long and unruly, but still kind of styled so that way it doesn't look too messy. The strands somehow just fall magically into place even though he's living out in the frickin' wild. But that's just the power of the smexy Windigo. Let's give him some fur to wear because he can't be naked. I low-key added a lot of accessories and things off screen because I'm lazy and I didn't want to record it all. But here, let me show you the brush I used for almost all of it. It's basically just a hollowed out circle brush and I just used it for all the beads and the earrings and whatnot. Okay, here we go with coloring. I always make the background a neutral gray so I can see the colors a little bit better. We made his skin tone darker, so we're gonna make the person that's being pulled in a little bit lighter so it has a nice contrast. In keeping with that theme of contrast, we also want to make his hair a lighter color, maybe like a grayish, bluish kind of color, and then even darker color for his fur thingy-malingy because of contrast. I made his headband red, that way it can pop nicely against the cool tones of the piece. I also made some of the accessories a nice warm red as well, just to keep with the theme. Yeah, I don't know why I was making this necklace look like Mike and Ike's for some weird reason, but I changed it later to a nice bronzy color, so don't worry. Color in those scars, then add some shading and light into his eyeballs. Gotta add those gums in there, otherwise his teeth will fall out when he sexily rips apart your flesh. Let's put a little bit of blue down his fingers, and use that same red for his snatched eyeshadow. He does his makeup better than me for real for real. But let's take a quick break to mention the sponsor of today's video. Me, myself, and I, cause I'm broke. So if you want to support me in making more of these videos, maybe consider checking out my Patreon, where I post works in progress, full res files of my art, time-lapse videos, emotes, and step-by-step tutorials just for you guys. Not to mention we have a Discord server now, so go check it out. Anyway, we have hair to shade, so let's get back to that. The way I shade hair is by using a little something called the lasso tool. I will never shut up about it because it is so easy to shade hair with this tool. Just look how easy it is. A freaking toddler could do it, and you can too. By the way, the lasso tool can also just be the selection tool. It's just called different things in different programs sometimes. And almost every single art program has this feature. So you too can be cheap and not use custom-made brushes for hair anymore. Why is this video starting to sound like an infomercial? Okay, once I do all that, I'm just gonna slap in a little bit of purple into the shading because it makes it look nice and reflective. Time to shade in those horns. And of course, the quirky bandana. And now it's time for the skin shading. I made it a nice cool tone to contrast well with his warmer skin tone. Take a drink every time I say contrast in this video, you will get drunk. Did you notice I added a little bite mark on the person's arm there? And a little bit more blued because you can never have too much blued. So mayhaps I was a bit lazy when it came to the shines on the hair, so I just made these lazy AF hobo lines. Want a little secret hack to make your drawings look more professional? First you gotta merge all your layers, and then you're gonna copy the layer and then turn it into an overlay layer. Then set that overlay layer to Gaussian blur, and then you're gonna turn down the opacity. Everything should look nice and glowy once you do that. Alright, so we're gonna put him in the snow now, so we need to make everything blue and the background blue too. And then plop in some snow and then use the motion Gaussian blur. And with some last bits of detailing, we're going to be done done with this smexy boy. Eh, bada bing, bada boom. We done. So what do you guys think? Did we upgrade this legend or did we downgrade it? You let me know in the comments. Alright, on to urban legend number 2. The one that won the poll overall. La Llorona. She's a Mexican urban legend of a woman who drowned her children in a lake, either out of revenge or grief. The tale varies, but she also drowns herself afterwards and becomes a ghost searching for her lost babies. I'm just gonna use a reference of a pretty girl from Pinterest because that's the easiest way to make somebody hot. So obviously by now you'll know that I just usually start out with a circle for the head and then a line straight down the face, breaking down what I see from the reference into simple shapes. Let's draw on these long lashes because obviously she's a diva. Again, just ignore the video at the bottom of the screen. I don't know why I left it there again. I'm gonna make her smile a little bit, but in a sad way because, you know, she's like dead and her children are dead and stuff. Anyway, let's give her some luscious lips. No amount of grief is gonna stop her from looking like a baddie. Speaking of IG baddies, we're gonna have to give her some luscious curly hair, of course. Much better. Let's give her a frilly top, a little necklace, maybe give her some arms so she doesn't resemble a Greek bust, add even more curls to represent those curly girlies out there. And as you know, because I'm a masochist, I'm gonna add in another hand. Oh, you thought I was gonna stop at one hand in this piece? No. I love pain and suffering, so I'm gonna draw another hand in foreshortened perspective. So here we go, line art round 2. I made her irises kind of wobbly looking because of the tears in her eyes. Let's make sure we put in those nice long lashes. We can't have the Windigo upstaging her in the lash department. Speaking of upstaging him, let's get her some lip injections. Don't you just love modern day beauty standards where everyone is filled with silicone? Let's copy and paste that ear over because work smarter, not harder. Unfortunately, I can't do that for this hand, but you know what? It is on me. I did this to myself. After spending approximately an hour trying to get this frickin' hand right, we have a result that's almost passable. Let's make the hair nice and interesting and chunky looking, like you could bite down on it like a donut. There is a lot of curl drawing here, so I'm just gonna let you watch for a tiny bit. Alright, it's time to splash her with a little bit of color. Make her hair black like my soul, or I guess like her soul, cause you know, she did do some horrible things. It's time for shading! That feeling when you get to put gradients all over your character, oh, it's so nice. Smexy eyeshadow time. Fill in that sclera with a nice dark color. Plus if you put white right off the bat, then it's gonna look flatter than my button jeans. We gotta give her a signature red lip. Very mindful, very demure. And a demonic red eye seems fitting. We're gonna use this nice aqua color because she's going to be surrounded by water. We'll have her floating in it like a little rubber ducky, a very sinister rubber ducky. I want to add some kind of dirt or dried blood or something to her fingertips. Just makes it a little more menacing, you know? And of course, to Sag Farm even more, we're gonna make her crying, but not just any tears, black tears. And duh, I'm using my husbando, the lasso tool, for the hair shading. If I used anything else, I would 100% be a skinwalker. Ooh, I should do skinwalkers next. Let's do the highlight properly for this one. No skipping out on it. Let's shave away at those parts we don't need with the eraser. Put a little highlight on her cheek there. And I don't know why, but it looks better when you add blush to the shoulders for some reason. Time for the piece de resistance, which is of course the water. The murky, yucky looking water. Ooh, so glamorous. Hey, fellow artists, do you not like drawing water either? Well, here you go. Here's a little art tip. Just use the highlights to your advantage. Just put a bunch of squiggly white lines around and it just kind of looks like shine from the water. Once we add some petals and definitely not liquefy everything, then this ghostly apparition will be done. Here she is in all her white glory. What are your guys' thoughts? Was this a flawless dive or belly flop? You let me know in the comments. And also let me know which of these 2 drawings is your favorite. That's all for now. Be sure to like this video if you want to see more, and maybe even subscribe. Bye for now.